to land, and they've come up with the Clean Water Act, the Environmental Protection Act, the watershed designation legislation. It's all be done.
They can rewrite the.
And it is not worth the paper it's written on.
There's Lee, I've been waiting that somebody else do your question. Okay, yes.
Well, a question and a comment. Thank you for coming, Mr. Shaw. I appreciate that. I just wanted to say that I also work with government, and I feel very strongly that I work for the public and that I represent the people as a civil servant. And I'm also glad to have my job. And I'm very proud to be a New Brunswicker, but with what the government is talking about, and I get very emotional about it, and because I am horrified when I hear what they want to do to our province, how they want to rape our land, how they want to contaminate our water, contaminate our crops, contaminate the air we breathe. And the Premier is trying to promote New Brunswick as the place to be. Well, I can tell you lately, I have thought about moving from New Brunswick because I don't want to be in a province that is going to allow that to happen. And I hope that we as a people are not going to let that happen. I hope we're going to environment. Well, I think that you, more than anybody, should be trying to protect the environment because you work for natural resources. You have the power to implement and be an impetus for change, and you should be doing that. And I really hope that you're going to search your conscience and question whether or not you really think this is a good idea. And so my question is, do you personally feel that there are health implications with mining, whether it's exploring or the actual mining process itself? Do you have
Are you talking uranium mining?
Yes, uranium
just
mining.
uranium.
Yes.
There probably are, or they wouldn't. The guy from the Department of the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission says we don't regulate things that don't have dangers or don't have issues. If there was no issue, the government would try and regulate it. We just let it go on. There are regulations that dictate so that we can the safety. There's little badges that people wear to see how much radiation that they're being exposed to. When they get to a certain level.
That's comforting. No, I know. The dosimeters, yeah.
Personally,
what you feel like, how you feel about uranium.
You want to know how I honestly, personally feel about uranium mining in New Brunswick? I honest to God don't think that there's really much hope that it will ever happen because of the geology we've got. We've got the bed.
We are not answering your question.
Didn't answer the question.
When they do exploration, they can do it with the uranium mining.
Are you concerned about the health implications?
No, not knowing what I know about what would have to get through to get permission to get to mine and things. But I live in Harvey, okay? People from Petitcodiac know where Harvey is because of all the basketball competition and stuff. I grew up in Centerville, New Brunswick. Everybody in Petitcodiac knows Centerville. We're the same community. I grew up exactly like the people here did. I've got a farm in New Brunswick, and I've got a grandson that will probably live on that farm. In the Harvey area, if they do develop a mine, and I doubt very much that they do, a uranium mine just from the grades, but if they do, I live on the north end of Harvey Lake, and what they've found so far the best is on the south end of Harvey Lake, and I have no intentions of moving. I honest to God, I will not move. So no, I am not that concerned. People used to ask me about the dangers of mining. Until Westray, more of my friends were killed driving to work than they ever were in a mining accident or anything. There's where the dangers are. No, and it is, there will be, I will make a prediction that 10 people, on an average year, okay, an average year in New Brunswick, there will be 10 people that will drown. Okay? There's more dangers of drowning than any stuff that you're going to find from mining. No, it was talking about dangers. You asked my feelings on dangers. Life has its dangers, okay? So far in the Harvey area, I think the best they hit was 0.4% uranium. There's uranium in Nova Scotia, I think, where they was releasing it, they said they had 0.83%.
What is the scale? What is the scale that would determine whether there was a mine?
It would depend on the, at the time, when Inga was in here looking back in the mid-70s, early 80s, they were talking that they had 350 parts per million, and that would be 0.35% or 0.035% uranium. The Saskatchewan, there was a news release the other day that Saskatchewan, one of the companies out there hit about 9 meters of 10% uranium. Right? If you take at a pound of uranium, that's the figure we're using here. A pound of uranium today is selling for $59. Okay, if you got a pound of uranium, if you got ore worth $59 a ton, and over in Nova Scotia, in Saskatchewan, it's 10%, so there's $2,200. 2,200 times 57 is what? You're talking $11,000 a ton. We're talking $50-some a ton. That's why they got the uranium mines in Saskatchewan.
Let's just assume for a moment, though, that right next to your farm, there was 300 million parts or whatever it is that's required for the mine.
Yeah.
Let's say that would happen. Let's not worry about, well, it probably won't happen in New Brunswick because of the geological. Let's forget that. Yeah. Let's say tomorrow they put a hole down just on the other side of your property line in your woods, and Lord, teach you've got the biggest deposits of everything. Would you say, no problem, go for it? And knowing that it's not Pickle Lake, what's the lake out in Saskatchewan? Rabbit Lake. That a similar situation could develop in your backyard, even a mile away. Would you personally go, no problem, where do I sign? Would you do that?
No, I don't know what I do. Because I don't know what I do. No, don't ask me to give you an answer to a hypothetical question, because I did that the other day. And I got, well, it is until it happens. I got broadsided the other day down in Grand Deep because I answered a hypothetical question. And I said after that, I will never answer a hypothetical question to anybody. So for that, sir, I will not answer that question.
It wasn't a hypothetical question. I was just asking for your opinion, personally. Because you know what? Ask me that question, even though it's hypothetical. Ask me the question, and I'll give you an answer.
I think we know what his answer is anyway.
Well, I don't know.
You just told us what you thought.
No, I'm telling you that I'm trying to be honest with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I don't want to discriminate.
And it's difficult. I mean, I spent many years as a civil servant myself, and you know, sometimes it's pretty tough to get out there, take off your bureaucrat suit and put on your public suit. And just, so there's a lady over here who's got a question.
I just also want to address the issue that it's not just about the uranium drilling and the uranium mine, it's also about the uranium industry, and that we become involved in the uranium industry. And I've been in discussion with the United Church of Canada and to get them to sign on with the province of Brunswick. And so I want you all to know the United Church of Canada has something like 7 pages in their bylaws that are directly related to the nuclear mining industry and nuclear power and nuclear war. And when we allow the exploration for uranium in our province, we are participating in that huge global matrix of the nuclear industry. And it is so toxic, physically, spiritually, metaphorically, anatomically, geographically toxic, that the United Church has an official policy on it that is accessible to everybody. They are also a member of a global organization of church leaders, or churches, global churches, who also have an official policy against uranium mining. I am a member of the National Farmers Union, and the National Farmers Union has an official policy against uranium and the nuclear industry. And when I first approached them, because our land is under the 170,000 acres that INCO has in their contract, and so I started working with Chris Terrio in Moncton. I contacted the NFU, and in half a day, they sent me their official document